Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, October the 12th, 2015. Of course, live from Chicago at the Allstate Arena. Very famous arena when it comes to WWE history. Heading towards Hell in a Cell with ratings plummeting down. And Monday Night Football being just okay tonight with the Steelers against the Chargers. Raw needed some momentum, especially heading towards a big Raw next week in Dallas, which could mean some WrestleMania implications with Steve Austin going to be backstage for the Austin podcast, along with Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair being advertised along with Taker and Lesnar, of course. So with that going down, tonight's Raw in Chicago, decent crowd. It was okay. There were some decent things. There were some stupid things. Some bad things. And try to get some momentum going into Hell in a Cell. It's just an okay one. A little bit better than 2 weeks ago. At least we have some decent action, including second hour was probably the best hour. And it just went downhill from there after that great match to start the second hour. Being the US Open Challenge. Let's start off from the beginning with the New Day. Beginning where Raw left off. Kind of New Day interrupting an opening segment involving Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton. Last week, they were involved in a 6-man tag with Roman Reigns against all 3 members of the Wyatt family, which they, I think they won that. I think if I was correct, they won. I think they won. I'm mistaken. I think they won that match. But I need, if I'm wrong and Wyatt's won, I apologize. So we have a tag team match signed for the next pay-per-view. It's Orton and Ambrose against Strowman and Harper. Since, of course, Bray Wyatt takes on Roman Reigns. So Ambrose had a little talk about wanting to fight tonight. They want to fight. Like Ambrose wanted to fight, and Orton came out telling him about this match. And he said they have their issues. You know, they don't like to play with others, but they gotta get along for the time being. But before they were focused on the Wyatts, that's when the New Day came in. Now, last week they ended Raw adding all Vicious, taking out John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, and the Dudleys all in one fall swoop. But tonight, they retained their charm. I said this in my Attack Sports. A lot of people are saying it too. That we love New Day as a comedic heels, and they've worked well at that. Ever since being embraced as heels instead of baby faces, it's worked well for them, especially being the comedy war. But last week they showed the vicious side. And it's all fine and dandy as long as they balance it out with the charm. Edge and Christian balanced it out. They were comedic heels with the kazoo and the 5-second poses. But they can be serious and vicious like anybody else can, especially when they nail the concerto on you. But tonight the New Day was the charming, comedic heels that they were. And always are. Like they all and always were. I love the promo talking about how they laid out all these guys. It's something that neither one of Ambrose's or Orton's cliques could not do. Because Orton's been in 3 groups. Evolution, The Authority, and Legacy. They call Orton a groupie. Like, oh, no. It was kind of a fun little promo to set up a tag team affair. Set up by Corporate Kane, who was kind of wanting the show tonight since the Authority was running late and never showed up. They had a day from hell. I think Corporate Kane may have had something to do with it. But it wasn't really explained. But the Authority wasn't there tonight. Like, wasn't explained properly. So we got ourselves a tag team affair as Kofi and Big E took on Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose with, of course, Xavier, trombone in hand, nailed the comedic perfection again, rooting him on. Now this tag team match to open at Raw was decent, with Ambrose and Orton looking good early, and trying to work out their differences and practice being a team without having Roman by the side for the tag team match at Hell in a Cell. A blind tag from Orton kind of set up Orton being isolated in the corner. And they were like isolating Orton in the corner. And the quick tags ended up from Biggie and Kofi just isolating him in the corner, feeding off the fans' chants. And then, as Biggie was looking good and trying to spear Orton ducked out of it, got the hot tag to Ambrose. Coming out of the house of fire, flying everywhere. Doing some big fly moves off the top rope and stuff, taking out everybody on the floor, even taking out Xavier in the interim. And then Xavier Woods got back up after Ambrose going for a big move. He got into a belly for belly. And Orton got tagged in, nailing all of his vintage moves. Vintage Orton with the Hangman DDT on Kofi Kingston, trying to set up for the RKO. And then as he was going for it, Big E pushed Orton inadvertently into Ambrose, knocking him out, enabling Big E and the New Day to steal the victory once after Kingston got the roll up after the Orton inadvertent push into Ambrose, as New Day got the victory by hook and by crook. I'm glad New Day still won because, hey, you can't lose the momentum. You can't go from them being the badass heels mixed with a little comedy, looking strong last week, and then look weak if they got pinned in this match. And I'm glad they didn't lose the momentum in this match. It also built tension between Orton and Ambrose after the ending of Orton running into Ambrose inadvertently. Like I said, causing some tension between these guys. They worked well in the early going, but then the blind tag came in and his inadvertent hit kind of got them in the troubled waters already. They work out the differences, get the kicks out, and try to stay on the same page as they prepare for that tag team match that was named tonight, as they will take on Braun Strowman and Luke Harper. On to next affair, next matchup here. Nikki Bella against Naomi. Should have been Sasha in my mind, especially when the fans of Chicago were chanting, "We want Sasha," and it didn't help that they aired a highlight reel from the epic, tremendous Iron Woman, not Iron Man, Michael Coy's Iron Woman match that happened this past Wednesday at NXT TakeOver Respect. That's already been lauded by me and everybody else as an instant classic, and indeed a front runner for Match of the Year. I know the Slammies are coming up. And you always have the award for Match of the Year. Please, WWE, put this Divas match in the Match of the Year contention for your Slammies. You guys even have the Slammies this year. Please put a Divas match in that. Especially this one. So I hope that happens. And Sasha got a big cheer. And this match was a decent matchup. And Sasha did get involved in the matchup. As Naomi was looking good earlier. I like Naomi, but I think Sasha deserves a push right now more than Naomi. Especially how awesome she looked in the match against Bayley. Playing the heel card like crazy in that match. You know, taunting the fans, including one of Bayley's well-known #1 fans, Izzy, in the crowd. Making her cry. I know it was a show, but that was a moment right there. And everyone's still talking about that match. Of course, my NXT review of that great event is on this channel. So as Naomi's looking good, trying to get the win over one half of Team Bella, Nikki got on top of the announce table and trying to feed off the fans. "We want Sasha," and Sasha got involved, knocking Brie off of the announce table. But that distraction was enough for Nikki to capitalize on it and got hit with the rack attack and the 1-2-3 victory for Team Bella. At least we got to see Sasha in action, but I wish she was in a proper match tonight. And of course, rumors are flying she could be added to the Divas title match between Nikki and Charlotte, making it a triple threat. The only good that'll come out of it is that they would properly build a Charlotte-Sasha match. I've been saying it for the last couple weeks in this Raw review. They need to make it happen. Sasha, Charlotte, one-on-one for the Divas Championship. Needs to happen. Because their matches on NXT has been amazing. They need to let them wrestle the match they deserve to put on the main roster. If they can give the NXT Divas a chance to main event a takeover and live up to the hype, instead of the main roster, do the fucking same too. To give the Divas a chance to have the time to shine. Especially with Charlotte and Sasha. It needs to happen. But this match was for a Divas match, decent. Fun action there. With the Team Bella winning. Speaking of fun matches, best Raw match in a while. John Cena's Open Challenge was once again up for business. Open for business. Because Chicago's been very famous for being, in my mind, one of the most... If you look at the cities and try to find out what city hates Cena the most, Chicago would probably rank as number 1. New York would rank number 2. His home state would be a close number 3. Boston, London would be number 4. Toronto would be number 5. Top 5 cities that hate Cena the most. Number 1 would be Chicago. We all know that from Money in the Bank a couple years ago with this guy. I heard people chanting him tonight. Get over it! Get over it! I'll talk about him later on when they were trying to chant his name again. So, Cena the Open Challenge. Now, I'm glad it wasn't Heath Slater. He's been taunting it, but is he ever going to get a chance or what? Who was about Tyler Breeze? Would love to see him debut one day, especially since he's been floundering in NXT lately. And his loss against Apollo Crews didn't help, but he looked good in that match. Speaking of looking good in the loss, that would go for our challenger tonight. Tyler Breeze's alter ego, kind of his counterpart. Less scared. Dolph Ziggler accepting the Open Challenge tonight. And this was a fun match. Cena's Open Challenge matches have been great lately. Ever since Cena won the championship, it brought prominence back to the U.S. Championship. Even though, yes, Cena wins most of the time, or should I say all the time, his challenge matches have been great. Putting on great matches with Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Neville, Sami Zayn, and Ziggler adds to the list. And even in that effort, Dolph looked awesome. There's some great spots in this match tonight. The transition between John Cena having the STFU and Ziggler clawing out of it, breaking the hold, reversing into his old sleeper hold. Probably one of my favorite spots in the match when Cena was going for the FU. And as he caught him in midair, going to deliver it, Ziggler countered it in midair, countered with the Famouser. That was a great spot there. There was some great spots in this matchup. Very great back and forth matchup. Really great. Fun match between these two guys. And there were so many near falls, so many close, especially with Ziggler delivering a zigzag and all of his big moves. Even the super kick. He did a super kick at one point. And it was just some back and forth action, man. It was a very exciting matchup. But Cena got the last word. After Ziggler nailed for the zigzag, Cena kicked out, walked right into the FU. 1-2-3 victory for John Cena. Because he embraced the John Cena sucks that people sing him. A serenade. So both guys looked good here. I love Ziggler. I wish he would get pushed a little more. So very looking forward to seeing more matches with Cena, maybe losing the championship, especially since he's leaving to go on break. Of course, we've heard rumblings about him taking a break after Hell in a Cell. We heard personal reasons, but now we heard, as I said in my Attack Sports today, that Cena's leaving to host a fitness-based reality show on Fox, according to several sources. So, there you go. And then a fun matchup, we have ourselves a tag team affair. We have the Dudley Boys, who of course take on the New Day at Hell in a Cell. Please add a stipulation to that match. We had 2 DQ matches, and they almost ended. They ended exactly the same, all the way down to the T. The Night of Champions ending was also the Madison Square Garden ending. So don't have that ending again, especially if they add a stip. They need to add a stip. tables match or something, man. They needed that. Come on. As they took on the Ascension. Now, I love New Day and the Epic Heels. But the only reason I would love to see Dudley Boys become tag team champions is to have great feuds with people, especially teams that need a good push, need a good rub, especially those who have been booked poorly ever since the main roster debut. The Ascension. A lot of great people in NXT. That's the problem with NXT transition. The transition from people from NXT has not been good for some people. Some people have thrived, like Reigns and Ambrose, and most notably Rollins. But a lot of people came out of NXT all struggling in the main roster. Ascension is one of those people. So despite the Ascension trying to look good with their nasty moves, Dudley Boys came back with their flying moves, double teams. They didn't do what's up tonight because they were in Chicago. They were paying tribute to What a Rush, a team that Ascension made fun of and kind of copied their look upon. Chicago's own LOD, the Road Warriors, doing the Doomsday device before leading on to the 3D and the 1-2-3 victory for the Dudley Boys. With a decent fun squash against the Ascension. That's what I'm saying. If Dudley Boys win a tag team championship, they can feud with great people that can get a good rub on and have steady matches with, not just squashes with. That would be the Ascension. Speaking of people from NXT has been floundering, Neville teams up with Cesaro in this next match against King Barrett and Sheamus. Man, we saw King Barrett and Neville feud when Neville first got in the company. You know, he lost this 6 months ago, and now he's still feuding with Neville. Being Barrett. Still feuding with Neville. Neville still feuding with Barrett. See what I mean about the transition from NXT to WWE? It's been tough for some people from NXT. And Neville's one of those people that should be fighting Rollins, but instead Rollins is feuding with Kane. Should be Rollins and Neville. Especially, I think, the second week of Neville's main roster. He had a great match against Rollins. Great match. In a losing effort. I cannot believe they're not letting him feud. WWE's wanted to build upon their future. Still building upon the past. All these big guys coming in. Just to say hello, like Shawn Michaels and stuff. They're trying to get ratings up. If you want ratings to go up, book the new people. We want to see new, fresh faces, not the same old bullshit. Like tonight, despite Neville's high-flying entourage, and Cesaro's high-flying moves, who also needs to get pushed as well. Delivering uppercuts all over the place to Barrett and his partner Sheamus. Cesaro even helped do a double team move, tossing Neville off the top rope onto both Barrett and Sheamus. And then Neville got Sheamus back in the ring, trying to go for a big move. But then Sheamus kicked out of that big move attempt. Distracted the referee long enough for Barrett to hook up the bullhammer, having Sheamus pick up the win, 1-2-3 victory after the assist from King Barrett. So, and King Barrett's kind of floundering too, you know. But he's injury prone kind of, you know. So there you go. Now on to Reigns against Braun Strowman. 1-on-1. We've always said that Roman Reigns is not the best on the mic. Boy, oh boy, did he look fucking terrible on the mic again tonight in Chicago. He was mumbling, he was fumbling. And then the fans were chanting, boring, and what? During that promo. It didn't help matters. It was, you can tell he was struggling. You know, we've always made fun of Roman Reigns' mic skills being one of his main weaknesses. And boy, oh boy, were they fucking exposed tonight. He was fumbling, and the fans were just feeding on it. And trying to build up for his match against Hell in a Cell. This didn't help. Then Bray Wyatt came out trying to save this damn thing as he came out to accompany Braun Strowman to the match along with Harper as well. Thank God we had no Orton or Ambrose to come out. So we had the match. And I'm going to say this. Like, having Reigns talk at all, bad thing. Have him talk in front of Chicago, one was notoriously rowdy crowds and crowds that like to boo people like Cena. Bad move. Really bad move. Double whammy. Double whammy is having Wayne speak, and having him speak in Chicago. One was notoriously rowdy crowds that like to troll everything, like New Jersey. And boy, he got eaten alive. But the match itself kind of rebounded. Like, Reigns kind of won the crowd back in the match against Strowman, but the beginning of the match was kind of like a beatdown. Because Strowman's the big monster that's getting more airtime than Cesaro, Sasha Banks, and Neville. Tell me what's wrong here. Nothing against Strowman, but come on. Better people need more airtime. Need more pushing, man. Once again, no one of my WWE's ratings have found me. At least WWE's not as faltering or as falling like the Lions are. Want to make a Lions joke, because Lions are going to be 0-16, baby. Go Bears next week. Anyway, after Strowman beat down on Reigns, he's tossing him around, kicks, going for his chokehold and stuff. Reigns got a hold of the beard to get himself back up and couldn't overpower the strongman. Like, Reigns usually has the strength and power advantage, but tonight it was Strowman. Especially when Reigns was trying to pick him up for a Samoan drop. Failed miserably. Like he did on the mic tonight. Failed miserably at that. Somewhere else he failed. He failed at a Samoan drop like he failed on the mic. Anyway, as Reigns was going for a big move, he got nailed with a nasty clothesline from Strowman. And they brought him to the outside after a couple of... I love when Reigns does a drive-by thing, when the guy's on the middle rope and he one's up with a drop kick when he's on the middle rope. And he went for another drive-by, and that's when he got clotheslined. And that was a nasty clothesline he took after the second attempt at a drive-by. And that's when they were pulling on the outside with a Superman punch on Strowman. And the Superman punch knocked him out to the outside. Knocked him over the announce table. And he also attacked Harper. Harper got involved. He got Superman punch as well. And that was before he Superman punched Strowman over the announce table and got a count-out victory. But both Harper and Strowman got back to their senses, especially when Strowman was throwing around the announce chairs. Like he was busy got counted out. And Bray Wyatt tried to come in, and he wanted Reigns right then and there. But Reigns was like, no way, the numbers game are against me, because you have both Strowman and Harper in your corner. I want you when you're most vulnerable, when we're locked in that cell together. So there you go. Woman got momentum back in the matchup, but talking before the match in Chicago, bad move. I was watching it, I was like, bad move. Like, Woman, like I said, he's weak at talking. Having him talk at all, big mistake. Having him talk in Chicago, a notoriously rowdy crowd that likes to boo things, and eat people alive, big mistake. So there you go. Now, on to our next matchup. Rusev against Ryback. Now, Rusev, as we all know, is real-life engaged to Lana. They kind of brought that into real-life storyline. He's supposed to be storyline engaged to Summer Rae. That broke off tonight. After the match between Rusev and Ryback. It was okay. Rusev trying to look strong here with the nasty kicks and his big moves. Trying to set up for the accolade. But Ryback, who needs momentum on his side, getting his rematch against Kevin Owens at Hell in a Cell for the Intercontinental Championship. He tried for the Shell Shock once. Rusev counted out of it with some big nasty kicks. But then Rusev trying to pin Ryback with his feet on the rope, got caught. And that's when Ryback nailed the second attempt at the Shell Shock. Got it. 1, 2, 3 for Ryback. And Rusev, disheveled. Summer Rae revealed that yes, he was engaged to Lana in real life. I thought they weren't going to bring that up in the storyline, but you know what? They did. And now Summer Rae and Rusev are done. She was like, you're no good. Two-timing, cheating, lying bastard. Slapped him. And they needed to end this quickly. Because that promo last week with someone proposing the Rusev was stupid and long. If they would have done that skit in Chicago, they're probably glad they did that skit not in Chicago. If they would have done that whole entire proposal thing in Chicago, they would have got as in line as Roman Reigns was tonight during his promo. Because that promo went on and on and on. Like Reigns' promo tonight. On and dragged and dragged and dragged. It's like watching a Lions game. It drags and drags and drags. You're like, is it over yet? We're losing by 47 points. Is it over yet? Is the pain over yet? Is the humiliation done yet? Is our misery over yet? Put us out of our misery. Sorry, I gotta make a lot of Lions jokes. So 0-5, about to go 0-16, baby. Fuck the Lions. Fuck Stafford. Fuck them all. Go Red Wings. Go Michigan. I'm not cheering at Michigan State. That's whose side I'm picking for their game. But back to another fun sport, wrestling. Especially Chicago crowd boos people, but they cheer heels like Kevin Owens. Tonight he took on the other half of Lucha Dragons. He of course took on Sin Cara last week, beat him. And Kalisto almost got powerbombed on the apron till Ryback came in. So tonight, Kalisto tried to go for some revenge as he took on Kevin Owens tonight. I love both these guys. But Owens is a guy I talked about earlier about NXT guys floundering when they go to the main roster. The Dragons is an example of a team that's floundering. But Owens had a great start, beating Cena in his first major match, but then losing to Cena 2 pay-per-views in a row. But he regained his momentum at SummerSlam, and now he's really back on his game as Intercontinental Champion. It looked really good tonight against Kalisto. But Kalisto had some chances to shine too. You're going for his lucha speed and agility, trying to outpower the strongness and the powerful strength of Owens. He used that to his ability. But of course, Owens' strength was too much for the young up-and-coming high flyer. And Owens got cheered big time, especially when he was trolling the fans. He was setting up, again, Clint's on the outside. He was going for a warning splash off the top, but he trolled the fans. That's what makes Owens a freaking badass. And seriously, Clint has some good high-flying offense, including a big tornado DD2. But he was going for another flying move. He got caught in midair, powerbomb by Owens. 1-2-3 victory for the Intercontinental Champion with momentum on his side. Like I said, we saw Ryback trying to get momentum in his match against Rusev. And now Owens got his own momentum on his side. And I think Owens will return. Come on, they can't just have Owens be IC champion for a month. Ryback had an okay reign as champion. Got kind of sidelined with an injury midway towards it with the staph infection. But I think it's Owens' time. He needs to recover from his losses against Cena. If he didn't win the US Championship, he needs to get the other mid-card championship, the United States Championship. He couldn't get. He needs to get an IC champion. He's got it. He's got the IC belt. Have a nice reign. Speaking of champions who should have good reigns, but has been having a rough time as champion, Charlotte teamed up tonight with Becky Lynch to take on the other 2 members of Team Bella, Brie and Alicia Fox, with Paige at ringside, along with Natalya. Now, this whole Paige heel thing, she said, oh, I'm still part of PCB, even though they recently renamed the team with Natty being involved. I'm glad Natty's getting some spotlight on her now, like she should be, to cheap plug NBC. First, they had the original name, the Submission Sorority, named after a porno site. That's bad. Having him named after the network that owns USA Network, NBC, that's good. Corporate cheap plug. So, it was a little Steven's tag with Becky getting isolated early into the hot tag to Charlotte. Looking good early. But Paige got involved as she shoved Natalya down and had a little brawl until Brie kicked Natty to the ground. With that distraction, Team Bella capitalized by pinning Charlotte after a missile dropkick. rough start for Charlotte as a women's champion. Speaking of, I've said it, there's like a recurring topic tonight. NXT talent not looking good on main roster. Some have flourished like Owens and Rollins, but for every one of those, you have people like Charlotte who should be on top of the world as women's champion in Lena's Revolution, but no, she lost the match 2 weeks ago with Paige turning heel, and she lost another match tonight. This is the second match she's lost as Divas champion. Bad booking, WWE. Your booking is almost as bad as the old Lion Alliance. Sorry, I keep making Lions jokes. But at least WWE's fun to watch. There's some fun to take from it. You know, like Cena and Ziggler tonight. But Lions, there's nothing to take from it. There's nothing good of it. So, it's stupid to see Charlotte lose again. Floundering, you know. I thought it would be changed, but no, same old bullshit. Team Bella looking good tonight. Please don't let Nikki Bella beat Charlotte. At this rate, it's looking good for Charlotte to lose now, because momentum's not on her side. Because she keeps losing, and other people are taking over the spotlight, like Paige and Team Bella. So on to our main event, a lumberjack match. We had Payday sponsoring it. A lot of cheap plugs for. I talk about the NBC cheap plug. He had really cheap plugs for Payday, with Paige getting some sort of unconventional diva award and having some stupid tie-in with Byron Saxton, and Payday sponsoring the main event tonight, a lumberjack match. It was supposed to be Cobra Kane against Seth Rollins, but the authority not there. Cobra Kane made the match. But then Cobra Kane was talking to Stephanie and Triple H when reception was bad from the day from hell, which I said earlier, I think Kane was involved in that, but preventing the authority from showing up. And Triple H was like, you're not fighting Rollins tonight. Cobra Kane, you're not allowed to fight Rollins tonight. That's when they started chanting for CM Punk to be the replacement. 3 things. 1, get over it. He ain't coming back. 2, he's in UFC. 3, he injured himself doing training. So even if he wanted to come back at all, he wouldn't because he's injured. So, I love CM Punk. I still support him. I'm still a fan. I kinda should, but I'm not one of those fans who are chanting his name in desperation for him to come back. No, I would love him to come back, but I don't think the time is now. Now on to that main event. When I heard Cobra Kane wasn't going to wrestle, I was like, Demon Kane's going to replace him. Called it! Demon Kane took the spot of Cobra Kane, giving us a little sneak peek of a Hell in a Cell. The Lumberjack matches, you know, the expected brawl, but the highlight of the Lumberjack match was New Day. You know, talk about momentum for them. You know, having a great wall last week. This week they looked good in the beginning. And when Rollins came out, I love when they were headbanging. They were dancing. That's going to be a meme. With the New Day dancing to Rollins' music. That was funny. That was really funny. And they had some great spots in the match. You know, your typical Lumberjack match. 2 guys beating each other up. And then the Lumberjacks got involved in the expected Lumberjack brawl. Yes, especially when Kane attacked the Lumberjacks. That's what happened. Kane was outside, and he attacked the Lumberjacks, including the New Day. But then Big Show knocked him out. And then Rollins took advantage after Kane's early fury, going for some high-flying moves, including a big knee from the top rope. But then as Kane had the advantage back after the fury from Rollins, benefiting from Big Show's KO. But the New Day pulled him out. And that's when the Lumberjack brawl began, with Lumberjacks brawling and New Day trying to lead the pack. And they were like the leaders because they were the tag team champions. And then the brawl continued as Kane got thrown over the top rope and all that stuff. I also loved when Rollins, before the Lumberjack brawl, he did a frog splash from Eddie Guerrero, about a month away from his 10th anniversary of his death. Remember where I was when that happened? I was at my cousin's house on the computer. I thought it was a storyline when I read that Eddie passed. Viva la raza, indeed. So after the lumberjack brawl, Kane got tossed back in the ring. Rollins was trying to set up for the pedigree. But then Kane would turn it over, trying to go for a choke slam. But they would eventually go for the tombstone. Nailed it. 1-2-3 victory for Corporate Kane's alter ego, Demon Kane, getting a pin on the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Now, what I've noticed is that if a opponent for Rollins at a pay-per-view beats Rollins on a wall, he won't win the match at the pay-per-view. Cena beat Rollins on a wall. Cena lost to Rollins at SummerSlam. Sting beat Rollins in a tag team match on Raw. Sting loses to Rollins at the pay-per-view. Kane beats Rollins in a lumberjack match on Raw. He'll lose the match at Hell in a Cell, which means not only will Rollins be retained his title, but Kane's alter ego, Corporate Kane, would be fired from his director of operations role. So there you go. Decent one tonight, some okay highlights, but still some things that need to be fixed. Some bad booking with people that should be flourishing, floundering. Neville, Cesaro, Charlotte, going down the list. Especially Raw next week from Dallas, it needs something big. Especially some, at least build up for some at WrestleMania. We're at the home of WrestleMania 32, Dallas, Texas. There's been rumors about Stone Cold and Lesnar. And Lesnar's on Austin's podcast. Something could happen there. Even if the match doesn't happen, at least give them some illusion to make people watch Raw again. You'll need something drastic and quick. Especially since it's going to be the go-home show for Hell in a Cell next week. So, need something big and quickly. Not just having the legends go and say, oh, we're here. Let them be involved in something. Instead of just bringing it back for old time's sake, just for memory, nostalgia. Use it for something. Besides using it for a possible panel to discuss the match. That's what will probably happen. And that's it for today's Raw review. Thank you so much for watching. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later.